everything the elements can throw at it, and if there's a problem, it can be expensive. Warm Roof Systems Limited, based in Hampshire, offers all the protection you need. They've got big ideas for your roof. They guarantee the Warm Roof system will keep your loft wind and water free for at least 25 years. It will reduce your heating bills and be good for the environment. And what's the secret? Foam. It's a two-stage process. They'll make sure the roof's in A1 condition, and if not, they'll repair it. Then they'll spray their ingenious fast-setting foam on the underside of your tiles. As their website says, why re-roof when you can warm roof?
Your roof can be transformed by this cost-effective alternative to re-roofing and rendered maintenance-free for a guaranteed 25 years.
It sounded perfect for Christopher Corker's leaky old roof.
We needed our roof renovating, and we also wanted it insulating, and Warm Roof seemed to be able to offer both of those things at the same time.
You must have thought that all your problems would be solved.
We thought by using Warm Roof we could avoid a costly re-roof and all that extra time and mess that would have caused.
The price, £6,000. After an examination by one of the company's qualified surveyors, work began. But from the start, Christopher had doubts about the standard of Warm Roof's workmanship. Before they were even finished, he called in an expert from the National Federation of Roofing Contractors. He was told the roof was reaching the end of its life, and no amount of foam was going to change that.
He said this was no good at all for this particular roof, and he recommended a full re-roof, which is what we were trying to avoid in the first place. I'm very angry, I'm very upset, you know, that they promised to solve all our problems in one go, and they've left me with more problems.
Experts say that foam insulation like that isn't suitable for a roof that needs a lot of work. But what if you've got a roof that's in pretty good shape and you just want a bit of extra insulation? Warm Roof ought to be just the job. Roy and Jean Burrows from Basingstoke contacted Warm Roof last April. The company said their roof was in good condition, no repair was needed. They could just go ahead with the foam treatment.
We wanted a hassle-free sort of option, really.
They just come in, clear all their rubbish out, you know, the old felt that was left up there, and spray it, all done within a day.
But a few months later, Roy noticed his tiles were beginning to crack. Very odd, as the Warm Roof surveyor had said there was nothing wrong with their roof.
We've lived here for about 15 years. Never had any problem with tiles breaking, but since we've had the foam put on, we've had about 20 break. That's when we started to realise we had a problem, possibly with the foam.
Surely, a company that says it's the UK's #1 for roof insulation would want to put that right. Well, no. Though the company does advertise a 25-year maintenance-free guarantee, that doesn't apply in jobs like this one. If all you had is the foam is all it covers, even if it's that same foam that's damaging your roof.
If someone says to you, your roof's fine, there's nothing wrong with it, you don't expect them to guarantee it. But if there's a problem with their product, which has caused problems to your roof, that guarantee should cover it.
We asked independent roofing expert Mike Kilby to take a look.
We can see here that there's one broken and cracked tile. Here, there's another one next to it, and you can see where the foam has expanded below the tile, pushing the tile up, whilst the weight of the tiles above are pushing down on it. Consequently, the tile is breaking. There is undoubtedly continuous fracturing going on this roof.
And in his opinion, the foam defies the normal rules of roofing. The tiles on this roof should be able to expand and contract, but the foam has stuck them all together.
Once you lock those tiles up and take that movement away, you're courting disaster straight away. And that's exactly what we see going on this roof.
Warm Roof say the system is permanent. Perhaps that's because once this stuff is on your roof, there's no going back. If you have any problems, it's very difficult to get rid of. 6 years after Howard Wilson's house had the Warm Roof treatment, some of his tiles needed replacing.
Each day that we went out to the cars, you'd find another piece of tile that had fallen off the roof. Over a period of time, you could see that there was a gradual deterioration. It really was that noticeable.
Warm Roof's foam might not have caused the problem, but it did make it harder to fix. all the roofers that quoted for the job said they couldn't fix a few tiles at a time. The only option was a complete re-roof.
I felt angry because I couldn't get Warm Roof to take responsibility for it, and in every house at some point you're going to have to take the tiles off. Once that foam is on, nothing's going to move at all.
In the end, Howard had no choice but to get his roof completely redone. It took 6 weeks to complete. Nearly half that time was spent removing the foam.
We ended up having to pay significantly more than we would have had to pay for a roof that didn't have that foam insulation on the inside.
Warm Roof's treatment is supposed to stop you needing a re-roof, but that's exactly what all our cases are now faced with.
We're now in a situation where we know that we need a full re-roof, but it's going to cost us a hell of a lot more because their insulation's got to be removed first.
Dozens of you have told us that you wish you'd never heard of Warm Roof. The company say they will solve all your roofing problems, but it sometimes seems that all they do is make them worse.
Well, Warm Roof declined our invitation to come in, but our Paul's here. Good to see you, Paul. So what are they saying?
Well, Warm Roof say they are a responsible company with many thousands of satisfied customers. They dispute the details of our cases, which they say they're still trying to resolve. And in particular, they insist the borough's broken tiles are not their fault, and they disagree that a re-roof is necessary in that case. But as a gesture of goodwill, Warm Roof will fix the broken tiles at their cost. They also say they've changed some wording on their website, and this is interesting, to prevent misunderstandings, they'll now just say surveyor instead of qualified surveyor.
That is interesting. So, what about foam?
Well, the jury is very much out on foam. There are lots of companies successfully applying it with happy customers, but very dissatisfied ones too. The problem is that it's not suitable for every kind of roof. So what you must do is you must make sure you talk to several companies, not just one, and if you've still got doubts, then you must talk to a surveyor, because it's a big thing you're doing.
Oh, it's a huge thing you're doing, and you've got to get it right with your roof, haven't you?
Absolutely, you have. And the cruel truth of the matter is that if your roof needs replacing, your roof needs replacing, and foam will not fix it. An interesting thing that's come to light is that 3 major tile manufacturers have told us that they won't guarantee their tiles if foam has been applied. So that's something to think about. On the good side, it's very effective insulation, but foam, I'm afraid, is a far from clear-cut case.
Thank you, Paul.